with the person.
Just out here today down at the border.
Yes, if you look at the history, when we're
a powerful force.
We have helped put almost $2 billion in veterans' pockets, and it never seems to be enough.
Hello, heroes. Welcome to VetComm News, your go-to source for veteran news, current events, and all the incredible work happening here in the VetComm community. I'm Rachel Hernandez. I'm the manager of communications here, and we've got another packed episode today, so let's dive right on in. In big news, the Senate has passed a stopgap funding bill that includes $6 billion in new spending for veterans' health care through the end of the fiscal year, which is September 30th.
Friday, the Senate passed a 6-month continuing resolution that was narrowly approved in the House earlier this week. The legislation includes a $6 billion increase for defense spending, but cuts $13 billion in funding for domestic programs. The measure also includes additional funds for immigration enforcement and veterans' health care. Republicans largely supported the bill.
Mr. President, another continuing resolution, another CR, was nobody's first choice. But I can tell you this, the next time the Senate votes on an appropriation bill, it won't be on the eve of another shutdown.
This funding comes at a crucial time for the VA, which has been facing budget challenges. Earlier, the VA had estimated a need for about $12 billion in additional funding for the rest of the fiscal year, but it later revised this estimate down to $6.6 billion. Now, the approved $6 billion is close to this estimate, but still falls a bit short. This according to Military.com. The funding is intended to help the VA meet the increasing demand for medical services. Because in fiscal year 2024, the Military Times reports that the VA delivered more than 127 million healthcare appointments. That's a 6% increase over the previous year's record. But concerns remain about the long-term funding outlook for the VA. In last week's episode, we told you about the VA planning to cut more than 80,000 employees by August. These cuts could significantly impact the VA's ability to provide care and services to veterans. In other news regarding the VA, the department announced that next year in 2026, the Federal Electronic Health Record System will be used at a total of 13 medical facilities. Well, what is that? It's a system that manages data exchanges between the VA and the Department of Defense. And the VA expects that it'll improve customer service and convenience for patients. The department first announced that this system will be used in 4 facilities in Michigan, but now that number has jumped to 13, and the VA is hoping to have this technology at all VA medical facilities by 2031. We'll have some other important VA and veteran news for you from TheCivDiv and veteransinfotap here on YouTube, so stick around to the end of this video. All right, and back here at VetComm, here's a great success story for you. We recently helped a man named Scott get a 90% rating. After 3 years of living on the streets, he told us he's most excited to get an apartment and be a human again. Keep an eye out. We're going to post his testimonial here on YouTube soon. We're also expected to help as many as 13 other veterans this month. And coming soon to your screens, VetComm CEO Kate Monroe is going to be appearing on an episode of Military Makeover. It's a complete home makeover show for deserving veterans across the country. You'll get to see Kate as she heads to Florida to help Christy, who's a veteran who's going to be getting the latest home makeover on the show. If you want to watch it, check the link in the description. And reminder, Kate will be going live every Thursday at 3:30 Pacific time to answer your questions about veteran benefits. It'll be hosted on all VetComm US social media accounts, and it'll also be on Zoom. And you can get the link for that in the description. And guess what? We've got merch now. We're excited to share with you that we have our very own VetComm branded clothing and accessories available for you guys online. This has been made possible through our partnership with Really Designs. It's a veteran-owned business, and you can check out the full line of our products at the link in the description. Are you ready to unlock your full potential? Shift Advanced Life magazine dives into the minds of top performers, from Delta Force operators to best-selling authors and 7-figure entrepreneurs. The magazine deconstructs their secrets so you can live your best life. Visit shiftlifedesign.com today to start your journey toward a more extraordinary you. All right, let's circle back to some important VA and veterans news from TheCivDiv and veteransinfotap here on YouTube. First, an entire VA office was liquidated. It was tasked with investigating disparities in veterans' care, specifically disability compensation for minority veterans. This was part of President Trump's policy to eliminate DEI programs. Here's TheCivDiv on this.
There is absolutely just no way to approach this one without making a ton of people really mad. So I'm just going to rip the Band-Aid off here. And yes, the VA is getting rid of an office. We can see this headline here that investigates disparities in veterans care, and that office is being liquidated. Okay. And disparities in veterans care means addressing government policies for disability compensation. And yes, this is under the magic 3 words: diversity, equity, and inclusion, DEI. So long story short, this is the Band-Aid part. Black veterans, other minority groups in the disparity of their compensation benefits versus white people like myself, rip the Band-Aid off type. That's what we're talking about here, okay? That office is gone. It's under, obviously Trump's policy there to get rid of DEI. So what we're going to do is read this article, okay? Now we have some thoughts from a fellow veteran that we're also going to get into here. But first we're going to read this article and see what this says, see what they say, and I'm sure I'll give my 2 cents as we go here. Real quick, one of my friends, real life friends, worked under this office. She was in SES. She's retired now, so she won't be affected by this. And she currently watches my 2 girls from time to time. So the next time she babysits for us, I will ask her thoughts on this.
Exciting news. We're already connecting you guys with the TheCivDiv here on YouTube, but now we're also partnering with veteransinfotap to keep you even more informed. So, circling back to the $6 billion for the VA, here's what veteransinfotap has to say about this.
There has been an additional $6 billion assigned to the VA. Now, this $6 billion is directly for the Toxic Exposures Fund and was approved by Congress on both the House and the Senate through a funding bill called the Continuing Resolution. So as they still try to figure things out, it takes us to the end of the fiscal year. Now, with that, I want to share this information with you because if you remember, there was a shortfall not that long ago. 1 year ago, $12 billion short. VA revised that in November of 2024 down to about $6.6 billion. And it remained unfunded, and then we just got this approved now. So I want to read through this, share with you all of this information. Before we do, though, I want to throw on a special thank you to Bill Saunders, 1879. Bill Saunders, thank you so much for the super comment, super chat. I truly appreciate your support very much. Thank you. All right, so jumping into this, the continuing resolution that was just passed through the Senate on Friday. Today is, Monday the 17th of March 2025. There you go. So the continuing resolution includes this $6 billion for the Department of Veterans Affairs to make up for a shortfall in Toxic Exposures Fund that was first identified again last year in 2024 and got revised.
All right, heroes, let's talk about something that is truly changing lives. VetComm is the nation's leading advocate for helping veterans access the benefits they're owed. If you served and you need to make a claim, VetComm can help you in your journey to completing a VA claim. So if you or a fellow vet needs assistance, visit vetcomm.us today. You served your country, now let VetComm serve you. That's all for this week. Like, share, and subscribe so you never miss an update. Comment free claim review or click the link in the description to get started today. I'm Rachel Hernandez, and this has been VetComm News.